In part 1 of Arkansas Dark Side True Crime TV case breakdown, we walk through the initial police response to the shooting reported at 5020 West 31st Street in Little Rock, Arkansas. Officers responded to a shot spotter alert, and when they arrived, they found Charles Gant suffering from a gunshot wound. Investigators secured the scene, documented evidence around the residence, and began identifying everyone who had been present that night. We also reviewed dash cam footage showing Jessica being transported to the hospital shortly after the incident. Toward the end of part 1, we mentioned rumors that the argument may have involved Charlie being involved with another woman. Investigators later interviewed that other woman, and her name was Nicole Whitlock. Before we get into Nicole Whitlock's statement, I want to point out that there is no audio available for this interview. For the purposes of this breakdown, I'm going to summarize the key parts of her statement so viewers can follow the timeline what investigators say happened that night. If you would like to read Nicole Whitlock's entire interview exactly as it appears in the case file, I will upload the full transcript at the end of this video. You can stop, pause, and read. That way, anyone who wants to review it, they can do so. With that being said, here's Nicole's account of what she said happened the night Charlie was shot. During the interview with detectives, Nicole explained that the night began with text messages. Nicole told detectives that she contacted Charlie earlier that night and told him she wanted to purchase some weed. According to her statement, the two eventually agreed to meet up. Nicole says she met Charlie at around 2 o'clock in the morning at the raceway on 65th and University Street. Charlie was driving a white pickup, and after meeting Nicole, he got into her car. Nicole told detectives that Charlie asked her to drive him home. She followed his instructions, and she drove to the residence at 5020 West 31st Street. Nicole said Charlie had been drinking earlier, but did not appear to be intoxicated. Now, this is a key detail that's important. Was this a fight because Charlie was drunk, or was this a jealous rage that turned into a cold-blooded murder? According to her statement, the entire interaction from the time she met him at the gas station until the time they arrived at the house lasted only about 20 minutes. Only a minute after they arrived, another car pulled up behind her. According to Nicole, this vehicle was a white car. Charlie told her that the woman that was driving the car was his girlfriend, and that girlfriend's name was Jessica Henson. Nicole said Jessica got out of her car and walked inside the house. She told investigators that Jessica was only in the house briefly. Nicole said when Jessica returned, she walked towards Nicole's car where Charlie was sitting in the passenger seat. According to Nicole, Jessica appeared to be upset. Nicole told investigators that Jessica opened the car door and struck Charlie. She described the hit as very sudden. She said Charlie immediately began gathering his things and got out the car. Items she remembered was the cup, the single cigarettes, and his phone. Nicole said she then heard Charlie telling someone to go ahead and leave. Investigators asked Nicole did she know who that might be. Nicole told them that she didn't know. She didn't see who it was. It was dark outside. Nicole said everything happened so quickly. According to her statement, it had only been seconds between the argument and a gunshot. Nicole told investigators that she started to drive away, but before she could even drive away, she saw a flash, and then she heard a single pop. Now, Nicole said she didn't see a gun, but who she saw was Jessica. Nicole said Jessica appeared to come from the direction of the house to the back of Charlie's car. Now, because it was dark, she only recognized Jessica because of the hair. She described the hair as halfway down her back. She immediately drove away from the scene. She said she assumed that someone had fired the shot in the air. It wasn't until she realized what happened after she saw a Facebook Live. When she arrived home, she began scrolling through Facebook. In the comments, she saw someone mention that someone had been shot on 31st and Harrison Street. And at 3:04 a.m., Nicole decided to reach out. She stated that that was the moment that she realized something serious had occurred, and detectives asked Nicole several follow-up questions about what she saw that night. They asked whether she saw a gun. She told them no, but she had before previously seen Charlie carrying one. Now, Nicole's statement was very important, and here's why. It provides context to the relationship dynamic. During her interview, Nicole told detectives that the text messages about marijuana was not entirely genuine. According to Nicole, she texted Charlie to buy some weed earlier that night, but she explained that sometimes she used that as a reason to contact him. She also told detectives that if Jessica saw those text messages, she would simply think that she was trying to buy weed. She further explained that actually that night, she only met him because she missed his birthday. Now let me back up for a minute, because during the ride to Charlie's house, he mentioned that Jessica had been having some issues. According to Nicole, Charlie said Jessica had made up some fake marriage papers so it would appear that they were married. She also told investigators that during the ride, Charlie suggested that Jessica might be on something, which Nicole understood to be that she might be intoxicated or under the influence. Detectives documented that this is part of Nicole's explanation of the conversation that happened before they arrived at the house. Now, Nicole Whitlock's statement provided investigators with one version of what happened in the moments leading up to the shooting. But detectives also interviewed the person accused of pulling the trigger and her friend that was in the car with her. Caprice Miller was a longtime friend of Jessica Henson. Her statement became particularly important to investigators for many reasons. First, she was present at the residence during the events leading up to the shooting. And second, according to the crime scene documentation, several of her belongings were scattered all around Charles's body. Because of that, detectives needed to understand exactly where she had been and what she had witnessed that night. Like the other interviews we've examined in this case, there is no audio available. As stated before, I'll share this transcript at the end of this upload. According to Miller, she was inside the residence at West 31st Street during the early morning hours when the situation began. She described that several people had been in and out of the residence that night. At some point during the night, she was made aware that Charlie had made it home. That's when she noticed tension started building between Jessica and Charlie. She stated that the tension between the two began to escalate. Investigators asked her about the argument that the other witness described earlier. She confirmed the conflict between the two. Now, statements like this are important to investigators because they help establish the atmosphere inside the residence before the gunshot. Detectives also asked Miller where was she when the gunshot occurred. According to her statement, she described hearing the gunshot while she was still at the residence. Investigators followed up with asking questions about what she saw immediately afterwards. Detectives needed to determine if she was outside or near the vehicle when the shooting began. She explained her movements to investigators as they attempted to reconstruct the timeline. Statements like this compared to physical evidence collected at the scene paints a clearer picture of what actually happened that night. Because Jazz had been present during the events leading up to the shooting, investigators needed to document her as part of the investigation. Detectives photographed her clothing that she was wearing that night. The photos became part of the official case file, and they helped investigators document condition of individuals present at the scene. Investigators also collected DNA samples from Jazz. Now, this is common in homicide investigations, when someone has been in close proximity to the victim or the scene. In addition to DNA collection, detectives documented Miller's clothing and her personal items. Jazz's statement provided investigators with another perspective of what happened that night. After documenting Jazz and collecting her statement, detectives continued to gather accounts from others connected to the events of that night. That's only one part of the record. In part 3 of this case breakdown, you will hear directly from Jessica Henson herself and examine the statement documented. If you have not watched part 1 of this series, make sure you go back to watch that episode so you can understand how the investigation began, from the initial police response to the crime scene documentation. After reviewing Jessica's statement, we will then begin examining the court proceedings in this case, including the charges filed, the court process, and the sentence that followed. And before we close out, don't forget to subscribe to our sister channel, Street Mothers Podcast, where you can watch raw interviews with real stories. This is Arkansas Darkside, True Crime TV. Thank you for watching. Y'all stay safe out there and be blessed.